Shalom, my friends. This is Max Joseph, and I'm here because now that the 2020 Oscars are over, we have a brand new year ahead of us. And you know what that means? It's time for the way too early 2021 Oscar predictions and discussion video. To give a quick rundown, this is going to be different than the other predictions. Instead of going category by category, I'm going to go movie by movie and talk about the awards I think the film could be nominated for, and then just some general thoughts about it. And again, this is very early, so there's a chance that some of these films won't even be released this year. Certain people may go from lead to supporting and vice versa, original to adapted. We'll see. But before I go into my predictions and discussion, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and ding that little bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. And so here are my way too early predictions and a little discussion for the 2021 Oscars. So we are starting the new decade off right. We have the new Wes Anderson movie, which is a big frontrunner. So far, we know that it is a love letter to journalists set at an outpost of an American newspaper in post-war 20th century Paris that centers on 3 storylines. It includes a cast of Benicio del Toro, Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton, Frances McDormand, Timothée Chalamet, Jeffrey Wright, Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Saoirse Ronan, Henry Winkler, Willem Dafoe, Kate Winslet. Point being, this movie has everything it needs in order to be a huge player this year. So look out for picture, director, all of the acting categories, screenplay, costumes, production design, cinematography, everything. Denis Villeneuve is back with one of the most anticipated movies of the year, Dune, which tells the story of a young man born into a great destiny beyond his understanding, who must travel to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. Guess who's playing that young man? Timothée Chalamet. So look for him in lead and possibly Zendaya in supporting. But I have a feeling this is going to change the game for visual effects and have the chance to do some serious damage in the tech categories. Maybe even pick and director. But look for it to go head-to-head with Christopher Nolan's upcoming feature, Tenet. Although we have the trailer, not much else is known about the story, but it's described as an action epic revolving around international espionage. It also stars John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, Kenneth Branagh, Michael Caine, Aaron Taylor-Johnson. This one is gonna be big, my friends. I feel like it'll be Dune versus Tenet for some of these tech categories. Nolan films are always explosive during the awards season, and I just can't wait to see what this has in store. And speaking of John David Washington, his father Denzel is in the upcoming Macbeth. Now, I know we've had many versions of this film, but none starred Denzel, Frances McDormand, and Brendan Gleeson, and was directed by Joel Coen. So this could be one of the films that has 3 or 4 acting nominations, and if it's as good as I'm praying, picture, director, screenplay, production, costumes, I'm pretty excited what Coen has in store for us. This could be something really cool. We also have 2 movie musicals coming out this year, which I am so excited about. First, let's talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights. The story is about a bodega owner named Usnavi, who has mixed feelings about closing his store and retiring to the Dominican Republic after inheriting his grandmother's fortune. So I was pumped when they first announced this, and then we got the first trailer, and I lost my shit. I was not expecting it to look as incredible as it did. But I think director John M. Chu has an incredible vision, and we may be witnessing one of the greatest movie musicals of recent memory. It has serious Golden Globe contender vibes to it, but also look out for it for picture, director Anthony Ramos in lead, possibly Olga Merediz for supporting, screenplay, production design, sound, film editing, original song. But it has some pretty tough competition because one of the greatest musicals of all time, and one of the greatest movie musicals, if not the greatest movie musical of all time, is right there, coming out later this year. I'm talking about Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. So we know it won Best Picture along with 9 other Oscars back in 1962 at the 34th Academy Awards. So if the film is anything like the previous one, we may be looking at something really, really big. It's the same with In the Heights. I'm thinking picture, director, maybe Ansel Elgort for lead, Rachel Zegler for lead, screenplay, production design, sound, costumes, makeup and hairstyling, film editing. I have a feeling that it's gonna have an original song, as will In the Heights. I'm sure Lynn is going to write something for In the Heights, and we'll see who writes something for West Side. We also have Babylon, which is directed by Damien Chazelle, who of course directed Whiplash, La La Land, and First Man. Babylon is set in Hollywood during the transition from silent films to talkies, and it focuses on a mixture of historical and fictional characters. If that's not Oscar bait, I don't know what is. And with the way this man's movies tend to turn out, I think this could be another big player. Look for pick, director, Emma Stone in lead, screenplay, handful of the texts, you know, the usual Damien Chazelle nominations. Another film that's really piquing my interest is Hillbilly Elegy, which is directed by Ron Howard and stars Amy Adams and Glenn Close. And what we know is that it's based on the best-selling memoir by J.D. Vance, and it is a modern exploration of the American dream and follows 3 generations of an Appalachian family as told by its youngest member, a Yale law student forced to return to his hometown. So anything that has Amy Adams and Glenn Close must be something to look at. And with The Shape of Water's Vanessa Taylor on the script, I'm very excited about this. So I'm looking at the big categories mainly: pick, director, lead and supporting for Adams and Close, and screenplay. I am really excited for Aaron Sorkin's The Trial of the Chicago 7, and that tells the story of 7 people on trial stemming from various charges surrounding the uprising at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois. This cast includes Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Mark Rylance, Jeremy Strong, Michael Keaton, Kelvin Harrison Jr. Script co-written by Sorkin himself, who in my opinion has consistently been one of the best writers since the 90s. I'm feeling pick, director, lead and supporting, screenplay. You know who is back? David Fincher and his movie Mank. Listen to this. A biopic about the life of Citizen Kane screenwriter Herman Mankiewicz. The story is supposed to follow his tumultuous development of the script for Citizen Kane, which is of course regarded as one of the greatest films in existence. And guess who is playing Mr. Herman himself? Academy Award winner Gary Oldman, with a supporting cast of Tom Burke, Amanda Seyfried, Lily Collins. It's gonna get all the big categories. I'm also thinking costumes, makeup and hairstyling, probably for Gary Oldman. I'm excited about this. One of my favorite actors of all time is about to come back to me, and I am so excited. I'm talking about the queen herself, Viola Davis. She'll join Chadwick Boseman and George C. Wolfe's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anything that includes Viola Davis must immediately be considered something to look at, even if it is somehow not good. I know that Davis will give a brilliant performance. Minari is looking really good and has already received rave reviews out of Sundance. So based on early buzz, I'm thinking pick, director for Lee Isaac Chung, lead actor and actress, probably screenplay. Another film that seemed pretty promising out of Sundance was Promising Young Woman, which stars Carey Mulligan. Based on what I have heard, she's apparently remarkable. So look out for her for actress. News of the World is directed by Paul Greengrass and stars Tom Hanks. So since Hanks is kind of like Meryl Streep and you just kind of have to consider him an option for a nomination, I'm throwing him in here. And if you recognize these two names together, that's because they've already worked together back in 2013 when they worked on Captain Phillips. I don't know if it'll get more than just Hanks, but keep an eye out. Maybe could get into like that 10th or 11th slot for pick. I also think that we could see Jennifer Hudson come back to the scene with her turn as one of the greatest R&B singers of all time, the great Aretha Franklin. J-Hud already has 1 Oscar under her belt for Dreamgirls. Do we think she can go 2 for 2? I don't know. But I think she could. Picture is also an option, but I'm not too confident on it. One of America's sweethearts is back. Academy Award winner Jennifer Lawrence will star in Red, White, and Water. We don't know much, but we know it'll have J-Law and Brian Tyree Henry, so you can be certain that they'll each be getting a campaign. Ridley Scott has The Last Duel coming, which includes a cast of Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jodie Comer, and Adam Driver. And if that doesn't pique your interest alone, I don't know what will. I think this is either going to be huge or kind of a flop. Let's hope it's a hit. One of my favorite directors and writers of all time is back, and that being, oh god, it feels so good to say this, Academy Award winner Spike Lee. He has the upcoming film Defy Bloods, and it's about 4 African-American vets who return to Vietnam searching for the remains of their fallen squad leader and the promise of buried treasure. And it stars Chadwick Boseman. And my personal best supporting actor of this last year, Jonathan Majors. Cinematography by Newton Thomas Sigel, who also did Drive, Usual Suspects, The Hurt Locker. It is set up to be something big. Pick, director, lead and supporting, screenplay, cinematography, production, costumes, a lot. It's Spike Lee, so get excited. Another movie I think will either be a hit or a miss is Blonde, which is a chronicle of the inner life of Marilyn Monroe. I think the main focus will be Golden Globe nominated Ana de Armas, who we all know from Knives Out. And there is a movie coming out called Ammonite, which may finally get Ronan her first Oscar. She's teaming up with Kate Winslet in a drama set in 1840s England, where an infamous fossil hunter and a young woman sent to convalesce by the sea develop an intense relationship, altering both of their lives forever. I'm so ready for this. I don't know if it'll get in for pick, but I think you're looking at nominations for both Ronan and Winslet, possibly screenplay, production, and most likely costumes since it's a period piece. But mainly, Saoirse Ronan and Kate Winslet together is... Okay, the last movie that I think may have a chance, and this is a bold one, is Mulan. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that this could be Disney's big breakout. That's a weird thing to say. Their big breakout of the live action movies, I guess is the best way to say it. If it gets enough tech categories like production design, costumes, makeup and hairstyling, sound, even song and score, it could make its way into screenplay and then sneak into picture. It's bold, but I don't think it's out of the question. Those are my way too early 2021 Oscar predictions and just general thoughts. Let me know what you have predicted in the comments. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know. And so my friends, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, give me your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to this channel, as well as follow me on Twitter and Instagram at mjoseph492, like my page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/MaxJosephFilmPerson. And if you really love me, please consider being a patron on Patreon, where you can get patron-only content, guest interviews, giveaways, and lots more. You can even give me a film to review, a 10th of the month top 10 category, a nice ranking list, or a song to sing. And that video will be dedicated to you. Shalom, my friends.